Sir Mark Cavendish, hello to you. How does that sound, Sir Mark Cavendish? Are you getting used to that yet?
I'm not getting, no, I'm not. I get a bit shy with it, you know. Yeah. It's very nice, thanks for calling me.
I referred to you in a promo earlier when I was talking about who was coming on the show as Mark Cavendish, and I was mortified I left off the Sir, so I do apologise for that. Sir Mark Cavendish it is.
Please don't apologise.
We were getting used to that. Are you also getting used to breaking that record finally? Because this was the record that has always been in your sights, and you nearly retired, but you came back to give it one last go.
Do you know what? It was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? So I had to finish the Tour de France, so you kind of... It's weird, because they did it on stage 5, and then you're straight back to work the next day, you know, so you don't...
No chance to celebrate?
No, not really. It's just about... You start suffering and you try again, you know, and actually it could turn into a different thing, which was trying to get to Nice and finish what will be my last Tour de France, so...
So that was the final one, because you said that it could be... Had you made up your mind before? Were you like, this is my last chance?
Last year was supposed to be my last Tour de France.
Well, with you, it might be never say never, then.
I broke my collarbone, and I was like... Honestly, it wasn't even really me that was like, I've got to carry on next year. Like, it was all those people closest to me that believed that, you know, I had to do it. You know, I can't stop while I'm like that. And my kids were like, you mean you're not going to be a bike rider? And my wife, Peter, she was like, don't be there in 10 years without regretting not trying, you know? So I was like, OK, I'll give it one more year. And, you know, the 35th victory, it gave me that motivation to get up. Or not get up. My family gave me motivation to get up every morning, but get out on my bike and work and do something and put your all into something. If you have that one goal, a year's not that long to put yourself at it for.
Just one more year, not to end with a what if.
Yeah.
In terms of cycling, Tour de France, you've done that now. You can celebrate that and you can look back on that with a real sense of achievement. Is that it for you on the bike? Have you got a bit more left in the tank? What are the plans?
I'll always be in cycling, always do something with cycling. Always ride a bike. Don't know what I'm racing tomorrow. You know.
You never forget how to ride a bike, do you?
No. And my boys crazy about it. All my kids ride bikes, but one of the boys in particular is crazy about it. So probably I'll be at bike races for as long as I ever know, especially the Tour de France. The Tour de France is what I dreamed of as a kid, and even though I won't be racing at the Tour de France anymore, there's no way I could stay away from that race. It gave me a reason to be a professional cyclist. It gave me immense, like, emotions, like the highest and lowest emotions with an incredible group of people, and those memories you can't buy, you know. And whether you're on or off the bike, I'm going to go back to the Tour de France and make more. So but competitive racing still on the horizon, or are you sort of tapering, hanging up the cleats? Yeah, after the Tour de France every year, I kind of wind it down a bit when you put so much focus on the first months to July. But I'm racing in Holland tomorrow night anyway. So
still got some more left in the tank, which is great.
I know what you're getting at.
Yeah, I know. I've got to push you, but I think we'll say never say never. The race continues for you, as it were. But can we just take you back to that moment? And like you said, it was in stage 5 that you broke that record. You still had a lot to do in the Tour de France. Can you talk us through that moment? Because so much goes into it, and I think those who perhaps aren't really into cycling don't appreciate the fine margins. And it's not just you that helped you break that record, it's the unit around you, and it comes down to split-second precision. Can you give us an idea of the dedication and the work that it took for those few seconds, which for everyone else went past in a blur? I wonder what it was like for you.
Well, it's crazy. First of all, if you just look at the race itself, you know, like you said, it was stage 5 that I won on. I had to get there. You have to get there to do it. And I was actually ill on the first day. I was like... Oh,
you must have been thinking, no, not again.
It was a hilly start, and strange, the Tour de France, it started in Italy, and you think, why? Sometimes it starts in different places. It started in Florence, and we had to go over the Italian Pennines, and it's a horrible start for a sprint to that. And I was dropped. I was, like, a long way back. My teammates were waiting for me, pouring water on me, and pacing me to the line so we can get through to start again, to try and get to that day. And just that, in those few days, you see that it's not me doing it, it's a group of like incredible individuals who are getting they're not standing on the podium, they're doing it for me to stand on the podium. It's a pretty special thing about cycling, that.
Yeah.
And that's just in those few days, and let alone the months training, the months they're away from their families training, to be in best condition for July. Even changing teams, changing lifestyles to come and live this journey with me for the last year. I'm truly honoured and like lucky to have them, that's sure.
You have a never give up attitude, but to get to that record-breaking moment, there are a lot of lows along the way, let's face it. You know, that crash in the Tour de France, you know, coming out of retirement, you've been ill physically, you've talked about your mental health as well. I wonder if there was ever a point where you just thought, no more, because, you know, being at the top of an elite sport, being at the top of that elite sport, that takes something, that takes dedication, it takes such grit. I wonder if you ever had a moment where you were just thinking, I'm not going to get there, I can't do this anymore.
Of course I did. I wouldn't be human if I didn't have moments. Like, everybody has moments. And honestly, like, I can never say my bad times are anywhere near the bad times of a lot of other people, you know? And the nature of what I do as a sports person, the perks of what I do are significant as well, you know? So I'm very, very lucky to be able to ride my bike as a job. And of course, there's been down points, and of course there's been times when you think maybe you can't do something, but unless you try something, you don't know, do you? And I think I try and instill into my kids that you don't give up. You put 100% into everything you do. If you succeed, you succeed. If you don't, you don't. But you have to try at it. And you have to try with 100%. And I can't tell them that if I'm not leading by example, can I? You know?
Yeah. I hear that you don't like interviews. I hope this one's okay.
It's very nice.
I always find that children ask the most challenging questions and put you on the spot most. So what is it they challenge you with? Because obviously you've talked about your wife and your 5 children and their involvement. How have they kept you going? How have they pressed your buttons to get you to this point?
That's the best thing. Like, they don't understand, like, that not everyone's dad or mum is a sports person. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? And
I bet you're interesting at school sports day. You'll be able to do a bit more of that now.
I don't
maybe.
I actually get to stay out of it. Sports
You're
day
exempt.
is always just before the Tour de France. So I always have
bet
an
the other
excuse,
parents are
you know?
like, phew.
I can't run anyway. That's why I ride a bike. I can't even pretend to.
I can imagine you'd been all right, the egg and spoon.
Yeah. No, they say, I don't know what they say. Like, any kid, like, I think any parent knows that their kids are their inspiration for everything, you know, and they're the ones that are going to be the harshest critics but the biggest supporters, you know.
And now the one that's bike mad is going to have you as a coach. Can we talk about the Olympics? Because obviously that gets underway this week, the opening ceremony on Friday. You won a silver medal in Rio. How do you look back on your time at the Olympics? Are you looking forward to this one? Because you hear so many elite sportsmen and women say they love the Olympics, especially being part of it, because you get to find out about sports that you know perhaps not that much about, and you learn from each other, you learn from other disciplines.
I think any sports person knows what it takes to be a sports person, you know, and knows what it takes to compete at the highest level. And you have that respect for whatever sport other people do, you know, and especially being absolutely proud every time I pull on a Great Britain jersey. Like, for me, that's the biggest thing. Like, we have this incredible, strong sporting nation that goes and doesn't just try and win a medal here and there. We go and try and win hauls and hauls of medals. And you feel, as an athlete competing there, you feel the support and the emotions of the whole country with you. And it's something special. And it's also something special to be one of those people giving that support to our athletes, and I look forward to it. I'll go out for a couple of days, and I just love it. It's such a buzz around it.
Some people have said it almost feels like a home Olympics because Paris is so close to be able to get there. So I know a lot of Brits are going out there to support Team GB. Just a word about Sir Andy Murray, who said that the Olympics will be his final tournament before he brings the curtain down on his incredible career. And I just wonder, from one Sir to another, who have, you know, competed at the top level, who have won these incredible honours, you know, what would you say about Sir Andy Murray and his decision to call it a day? Because it must be so difficult to know when is the right time to do that.
I think what Andy has showed is that if you love whatever you do, just do it. Do you know? It's not up to anybody else to say if you can or can't do anything. You do what you love. I think, aside from his incredible achievements on court, I think what Andy stood for off the court, his fight for equality between male and female sports people, particularly, his criticism, his vocal criticism of people who criticise him, you know, and what he does, and it's just absolute love for the sport and carrying the hopes of a nation for so long. You know, he's an incredible person. Whatever he does, whatever he chooses to do, if he continues on, he's announced maybe he continues, whatever he does, you know he's going to do it with passion, and I wish him the best. You know?
Yeah, OK. Well, so Mark Cavendish, we wish you the best as well. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again. It was a breathtaking moment in sport, and it's immortalised you in the sport of cycling. So thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing your experience. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.